The reasonable man adapts himself to the world, while the unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Hi, my name is Connor James, and today I want to talk to you about something that motto deals with every day: social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is the idea that business can create a social change in the world. Today I'm going to talk to you about three things: how social entrepreneurship works, how social entrepreneurship can work through you as a non-business major, and how I would like to use social entrepreneurship to better the world. First is how social entrepreneurship works. It's through businesses called benefit corporations. They work just like other businesses, except these businesses are legally required to give some type of social change to the world. An example I can give you is Tom's. Tom's is a very popular shoe company that was started in Austin, Texas. When they first started, the owner and CEO wanted to create a social change because he noticed that many homeless people and poor people didn't have shoes. In developing countries and countries like Africa, in the continent of Africa, you see a lot of people have to walk to get water, and when they don't have shoes, that becomes a problem. So he created this business, Tom's, and made a very popular shoe style to sell in the United States. The reason they became so popular is because when you purchased one of his shoes, he donated another pair of shoes to somebody in need. The price of the shoes was slightly higher to pay for this, but he was enacting a social good through a very popular business. The reason that this is so much more successful than a nonprofit is because of the law. A nonprofit legally cannot sell anything or generate any revenue. They have to run solely off of donations. So when the donations run out, they have no way to reproduce money without going out and getting more donations. They still do the same social good as a benefit corporation, but they don't have any way of making revenue. A benefit corporation, through social entrepreneurship, can sell a good or provide a service to create revenue. Through doing that, they only need an initial investment to start making a cash flow. Therefore, they don't need any further investments later on, and they can continue to create the social good. It's like the saying goes, if you give a man a fish, he'll be full for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, he'll be full for his life. Social entrepreneurship is essentially feeding a man, or is essentially teaching a man how to fish. Next, I'll talk about how you can help. It's quite simple, actually. There's a website, bcorp.com, that lists all 1,064 benefit corporations worldwide. You can search by geographic location or by business type. Say if you're looking for food or clothing, you can search that and it'll come up with companies in your area that provide some type of social good, and you can go and purchase their goods instead of like an HEB brand food per se. A good example of this is King Arthur Flour. They actually provide a good to the environment. So if you want to spend an extra 20 cents on a bag of flour, you're actually helping the environment rather than just getting the regular old flour that doesn't do any good. Lastly is how I intend to use social entrepreneurship to create good in the world. My end-all goal in my career is to create a business, and I don't exactly know what that business may be yet, but I do know that in doing this business, I want to create a social good. And the social impact that I want to have is on at-risk youth. When I was 15 years old, I started teaching kids camps at a golf course in San Antonio, and we would teach the kids camps every single week. But every fourth week, every last week of the month, we did another kids camp that was not paid for, but instead was paid for by the driving range through these little scholarships. And so it was these kids that didn't have any money at home, often came from bad situations, and they could come and have fun and enjoy a few days at a camp learning how to play golf with other kids their age and fun camp counselors like myself. And so I love doing that. I did that for 3 years, and I know the impact that it had on some of these kids who have never had anything. And so my goal is to create a business and then use that business to fund some type of organization like I worked in so that I can help kids. I'll leave you today with just my belief on all of this. You can give any money that you want to nonprofits, and that's going to do an incredible good. But I encourage you to instead maybe use some of that money on what you would purchase every day, and instead of looking for the best deals at the stores, maybe look for the best good you can be doing at the stores. Thank you.